As you sit or lie wherever you are right now, you might notice that the body is already breathing. The chest rises a little. The air moves in and then it moves out. Nothing special, nothing dramatic, just this simple movement of life. You may like to notice where your body is touching the surface that holds it. Perhaps it is a chair, a bed, the floor. You do not have to change anything. Just become aware that in this moment you are supported. You do not have to earn this support. It is already here. Now, if you like, you can imagine that you are standing somewhere safe and quiet. It might be a room in your home, a garden, a small path, or simply a space in your mind. You are not in a hurry. You are just there, standing with your breath, with your body. Feel what it is like to simply stand without needing to go anywhere. In front of you, there is just a small space waiting for your next step. You do not have to rush into it. You do not have to prove anything to anyone. With mindful walking, the purpose is not to arrive at a place in the future. The purpose is to arrive in your own life, now in this present step. You may gently ask yourself, what would it feel like if I took one step in complete freedom, without any pressure, without any expectation? Not freedom as an idea, but freedom as a feeling in the body. Freedom in the way the foot touches the ground. Freedom in the way the breath flows. As you breathe in, you might silently say to yourself, I am here. As you breathe out, this moment is enough. You do not have to believe these words. You only need to let them rest lightly in your mind, like a leaf resting on the surface of a quiet pond. Walking slowly is not laziness. It is not a waste of time. It is an act of love toward yourself and toward life. In a world that often values speed, results, and constant movement, to walk slowly is a gentle way of saying, my life is precious. I want to really live it, not run past it. Each step can be like a small bell of mindfulness calling you back to yourself. When the foot lifts, you know it is lifting. When it moves forward, you know it is moving. When it touches the ground, you know it is touching. Awareness is like a warm light. Wherever it shines, that place becomes alive and real. You might notice in this very moment that your breath has its own rhythm. You do not have to make it longer or shorter. Just let it be as it is. The breath is like a river that flows gently through you, always returning, always available. When you are with your breath, you are already home. You may have spent many years walking only to arrive somewhere in the future, the grocery store, the office, the bus stop, the next task. In those moments, the body was there, but the mind was somewhere else. When we walk like that, we can pass through our days without really touching them. Now, you are invited to walk in a new way. To walk as a free human being, no longer pulled only by habit and worry. One step at a time, one breath at a time, you can discover that peace is not far away. It is as close as your next inhalation, your next exhalation, your next step upon the ground. You walk as a reminder that peace is possible, that each small step of awareness can ripple outward in ways you cannot measure. This is how one step can become a prayer without words, a prayer that arises from the simple act of touching the earth with mindfulness and love. When you walk with this awareness, you may begin to notice that your way of speaking and listening also begins to change. The same presence that guides your steps can guide your words. The same calmness that helps you place your foot on the ground can help you place your words into the world with more care. You might notice that when the body rushes, the speech often rushes too. Words come quickly, sometimes too quickly, carrying impatience, frustration, or habit. But when you slow down, when your steps are gentle and your breath is calm, you give yourself space to speak in a different way. You can speak from a place of understanding. Before entering a difficult conversation, you can take a few slow steps. You can feel the ground under your feet. You can feel the breath in your body. This small practice can help you return to your center. It can help you remember that you do not need to react right away, and that you can choose words that do not cause harm. This is loving speech. It is speech that is born from the wish to bring ease, not tension. It is speech that is soft but clear, gentle but honest. You do not need to force kindness into your words. Kindness appears naturally when your mind is calm and your heart is open. Deep listening is the companion to loving speech. It is the practice of receiving the words of another person without interruption, without judgment, without preparing your reply. It is listening with your whole being. When you listen deeply, you are like the earth receiving the rain, patient, open, welcoming. You may notice as you practice walking mindfully that your capacity for deep listening grows when you listen to the movement of your body, to the rhythm of your breath, to the sensations of your steps. You train yourself to listen without rushing. You learn to stay present for whatever is happening. This same presence can be offered to another person. When someone speaks to you, especially if they are upset, you may feel the impulse to respond quickly, to defend yourself, or to fix their problem. But if you pause for one breath, one step, the space opens. In that space, you can choose to listen instead of react. Your presence becomes a gift, a refuge for the other person. You can bring this practice into your everyday life. Before answering the phone, take one mindful breath. Before replying to a message, feel your feet on the ground. Before responding in a tense conversation, notice your shoulders, your jaw, your chest. Each of these moments can help you return to calmness. When you return to calmness, your words become softer. Your heart becomes more open. You do not speak to win. You speak to understand. You do not listen to judge. You listen to help relieve suffering. This way of speaking and listening can transform relationships. It can bring harmony where there was confusion. It can bring connection where there was distance. And when you lose patience, as you inevitably will, you can return to your steps. One slow breath, one slow step, one small moment of awareness. This is enough to begin again. Walking slowly is a meditation you can carry with you everywhere. You do not need a quiet garden or a long path. You can practice wherever you are, in your home, your workplace, your neighborhood. What matters is not the place, but the quality of your awareness. When you take your first steps in the morning, you can walk with mindfulness. As you rise from your bed, you might say quietly, "Thank you, I am alive." These first steps set the tone for your day. They remind you that you do not need to rush into the morning. You can enter the day with calmness and care. When you walk from your bed to your bathroom, from your bathroom to your kitchen, you can walk slowly, even if only for a few steps. In those steps, you can feel the coolness or warmth of the floor under your feet. You can feel your breath waking up in your body. This is how you begin the day in awareness. Throughout the day, you will move many times, from one room to another, from one task to another. Each time, you can take one or two conscious steps. This does not require extra time. It only requires a gentle reminder to come back to yourself. You might choose a place in your home or workplace as a mindful walking space. It could be a small hallway, a corner of a room, or even the path from your desk to the door. Each time you walk through that space, you can bring your awareness fully into your steps. If you find yourself forgetting to practice, that is natural. Forgetting is part of being human. When you realize you have forgotten, you can smile gently. There's no need to be hard on yourself. The moment of remembering is itself a moment of mindfulness. It is a returning. You can use small reminders to help you return. A doorway can remind you to take one conscious breath. A staircase can remind you to slow down. A hallway can remind you to walk with awareness. These reminders are like small bells of mindfulness placed throughout your day. Even when you are outside, walking from your car to a store, from a bus stop to your home, or along a sidewalk, you can practice. You do not need to walk unusually slowly. You only need to bring your mind back to your steps, even if for a few seconds. These small moments of practice build the habit of presence. There may be times when you feel impatient or restless. Perhaps you have a long list of tasks or worries. In those moments, it can feel difficult to walk mindfully. That is okay. You can acknowledge your impatience without resisting it. You can take a single slow breath. You can take one mindful step. You do not need to force anything. Over time, as you practice in these small, simple ways, you will notice that your life begins to change. You may feel more grounded, more centered, more able to handle stress. You may discover that you respond to situations with more calmness and clarity. This is because each mindful step plants a seed of peace in your consciousness. These seeds grow quietly. They do not need attention. They do not need effort. They grow naturally when you water them with awareness. One day, you may find that your steps have become softer, your breath has become deeper, your mind has become clearer, your heart has become lighter. This is the fruit of your practice. And now, you can bring all of this together. You can allow your breath to settle, your shoulders to relax, your mind to become soft and open. If you are sitting or lying down, you can simply imagine yourself standing in a quiet place, preparing to take a mindful step. You feel the ground beneath your feet. You feel the breath flowing through your body. You allow your attention to rest gently on these sensations. There is no hurry. There is no goal. There is only this moment, simple and complete. As you breathe in, you take a slow step forward. You know that you are taking this step. You feel the foot lifting, moving, touching the earth. As you breathe out, you take another step with the same gentle awareness. In breath, one step. Out breath, one step. You can let a soft phrase accompany your steps. Breathing in, I arrive. Breathing out, I am home. Or breathing in, I am here. Breathing out, this moment is enough. Let your own heart choose the phrase that feels right. With each step, you can imagine planting a seed of peace in the earth. Each seed carries your intention to live more mindfully, to speak more lovingly, to listen more deeply. You may not see the results immediately, but over time, these seeds will grow into understanding, compassion, and joy. You can sense that your walking is connected to all beings. Your steps send out gentle waves of calmness. They touch the world quietly, the way a single drop of water creates ripples across a still pond. Even if no one sees you walking, your peaceful steps are not lost. They nourish the collective energy of peace in their world. You may notice that as you continue walking, your body feels lighter. Your breath flows more easily. The thoughts in your mind slow down. You are no longer carrying the past or chasing the future. You are fully here, walking in harmony with life. When you are ready, you can allow your imagined steps to become still. You can rest in the awareness that you have touched peace, even if only for a moment. You can trust that this peace is always here, waiting for you to return to it. Peace is not something you must seek outside yourself. It is not far away. It is not hidden. It is as close as your next breath, your next step. When you walk slowly, with awareness, you walk into your own true home. Let your final breath in this moment be soft, gentle, and full of gratitude. And as you breathe out, let the awareness of this practice settle in your heart. Wherever you go from here, your steps can carry peace. And when you forget, You can always return to your breath, to your body, to the earth beneath your feet. Each return is a new beginning. Each beginning is a chance to live more deeply and more freely. May your steps be light. May your heart be open. May your presence bring peace to yourself and to all beings. As you listen, you may like to soften the muscles of the face. Let the eyes rest. Let the jaw loosen. Let the shoulders drop just a little. There is nothing to hold up in this moment, nothing to defend. You can simply be here with the sound of the words, with your own living presence. You are already practicing by listening with awareness. There is no right or wrong way. If your mind wanders, that is okay. Minds wander. When you notice it has gone somewhere else, you can gently bring it back, as if you are taking the hand of a small child and guiding them kindly back home. From this place of softness, you can begin to see more clearly how you have been walking through your life until now. Not to judge yourself, but to understand. Understanding is the ground of compassion. When you understand, you can begin to change your way of walking, your way of living, step by gentle step. You might look back at your recent days. How often did you find yourself hurrying from one thing to the next? Perhaps you woke up and immediately felt behind. The mind already racing, planning, worrying. The body moving quickly, sometimes even before you were fully awake inside. Maybe you know this feeling very well, walking down a hallway, but already thinking of the email you must send, moving from one room to another, but your mind is in a conversation that has not yet happened. Perhaps you have walked many times and later did not remember the path at all because you were lost in thought. This habit of rushing is very common. You are not alone in it. Many people live like this. We rush because we are afraid of being late, of failing, of not being enough, of not having enough. We rush because the world around us moves fast and we feel we must keep up or we will be left behind. You may notice how rushing feels in the body. Perhaps the shoulders become tight. The breath becomes shallow, low. The jaw clenches. The heart beats a little faster. The steps become heavy or noisy. When we are in this state, it is hard to feel at peace. It is hard to feel truly alive. We are moving, but inside we feel disconnected. You can pause and ask yourself quietly, how does it feel in my body when I rush? Where do I feel the tension? Maybe it is in the chest, the throat, the belly, the back. You do not have to change it right away. Just notice, just recognizing, I am rushing, I am tight, is already the beginning of freedom. Rushing is not a personal failure. It is a habit that has been learned over time. It has been taught by family, by school, by work, by culture. When you see it clearly, you do not need to blame yourself. Instead, you can hold this habit gently, as you would hold a crying child. You might say, "My dear, I see you are trying so hard. You do not have to rush so much now. You can rest in this step." When we walk only to get somewhere, each moment of the journey becomes a means to an end. But life is made of these moments. If we are not present for them, we lose something very precious. We lose the chance to enjoy the simple miracle of being alive, of breathing, of touching the ground with our feet. Walking slowly is a very simple medicine. It does not require special equipment, money, or a special place. It only asks that you give yourself permission to move a little more slowly, to let the body and the mind come back together. When they are together, you begin to feel whole again. You might remember a time when you walked calmly, without hurry, maybe in nature, on a beach, or in a park. Perhaps you noticed the sound of birds, the feeling of the wind, the play of light and shadow. In that moment, even if it was brief, there may have been a sense of ease, a sense of belonging to the world. This possibility is still here for you. You do not need a perfect day. You do not need a special retreat. You can begin where you are, with the next step you take, from your bed to the bathroom, from your desk to the door, from one room to another. Any step can be a mindful step if you bring your full presence to it. To begin, it helps to have a friend that can always guide you back. The most faithful friend you have is your own breath. The breath is always here. It has been with you since you were born. It will stay with you for your whole life. Often we forget it, but it has never forgotten us. The breath is like a gentle river flowing through your body. When you place your attention on it, you are placing your attention on life itself. You do not have to control the river. You only need to sit by its banks and feel its movement, in and out, rising, falling, coming, going. Very simple. Right now, you can become aware of the next in-breath. Do not reach for it. Just notice when it begins. The air enters through the nose or mouth. The chest or belly expands. The shoulders may rise a little. Let the in-breath be as it is. Then notice the out-breath. The body softens. The air leaves. The chest or belly falls. This is one full cycle of life. You might like to add a gentle phrase to this breathing, not as a demand, but as a loving reminder. Breathing in, you can silently say, I have arrived. Breathing out, I am home. You are not arriving in a future place. You are arriving in this very moment, this body, this experience. Home is not far away. Home is this breath. If another phrase feels more natural, you can use that. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Or breathing in, here. Breathing out, now. These short phrases help the mind relax and stay with the breath. They are like a soft hand resting on the shoulder, saying, it is okay, you can be here. When you bring this breathing into your walking, something beautiful happens. Each step becomes linked with an in-breath or an out-breath. The body, the breath, and the mind move together as one. Instead of the mind pulling you into the past or the future, it begins to rest in the feeling of this step, this breath. Imagine you are standing and ready to walk. As you breathe in, you can take 1, 2, or 3 small, slow steps, carefully placing your foot on the ground. As you breathe out, you take 1, 2, or 3 more steps. You may adjust the number so that it feels natural. There is no rule. What matters is that you are aware of breathing and stepping at the same time. At first, it may feel unusual. You may notice the mind wanting to go fast, to think about something else, to plan or remember. When that happens, there is no need to be upset. This is just another moment of practice. When you notice the mind has wandered, you gently bring it back to the next breath, the next step. You can tell yourself quietly, now I am breathing in, and I know that I am breathing in. Now I am breathing out, and I know that I am breathing out. Or, now I am stepping, and I know that I am stepping. The knowing is what brings clarity and peace. The step without knowing is just a habit. The step with knowing is a miracle. When you walk like this, even for a short time, you may feel the nervous system becoming more calm. The heart may slow down. The breath may deepen a little. The body may start to relax its tension. You are sending a message to your whole being. You are safe. You do not need to run. You can rest in this step. You might think that you must walk for a long time to feel anything, but often just a few mindful steps can already make a difference. Walking to the bathroom with awareness, walking to get a glass of water with awareness. Each time you touch the ground, you touch the present moment. The breath and the step are always available. Even on a day when you are busy, you still have to move from place to place. Each movement can be an invitation. Can I be a little more present during these few seconds? If the answer is yes, then you are already practicing. There is no need to wait for a better time. As you become more familiar with this way of walking, the breath feels less like a tool and more like a friend. You begin to trust it. When you feel anxiety, you know you can come back to the breath and the step. When you feel sadness, you know you can come back to the breath and the step. You do not have to fix everything at once. You only have to take one conscious breath, one conscious step. You may discover that peace is not something you have to chase. It is not far away. It is here, in the simple act of breathing in and out, and in the gentle placing of your foot on the ground. When you walk with your breath in this way, you are already living in a different world, even if the outer conditions are the same. Now, as you sit or lie here, you do not need to get up and walk. You can simply imagine how it would feel. You can feel the breath moving softly in the body. You can feel the weight of the feet, even if they are still. You can taste, just a little, the freedom that comes when the mind, the body, and the breath all arrive in the same place. In this quiet awareness, the next step of your practice is already taking shape, gently, without any force. In this quiet awareness, you can begin to notice your body more deeply. The body has been with you in every moment of your life, yet often it has been ignored, pushed, or used like a tool. Now, you have a chance to turn toward it with kindness as you would turn toward a dear friend. You might bring your attention down to your feet. Even if you are not walking right now, you can feel that your feet are there. They have carried you through so many days, so many places, without asking for praise. You can gently say in your heart, "Thank you, my feet, for carrying me." As you say this, you may feel a soft warmth of gratitude begin to arise. If you imagine standing up and beginning to walk, notice how the body organizes itself. One foot carries the weight while the other prepares to move. There is a subtle intelligence present in every step. You do not have to think, "Now I will contract this muscle, now that muscle." The body knows how to walk. It has always known. Your task is only to be there with it. You can bring your awareness to the moment when the heel of your foot begins to lift from the ground. It is a small movement, but you can feel it if you slow down. The heel rises, the weight shifts toward the front of the foot, and then the foot gently leaves the earth. For a brief moment, it is in the air, free, moving forward in space. Then, slowly, the heel of the foot comes down again, making contact with the ground. The sole follows, and finally the toes arrive. You can follow this whole journey with your attention, lifting, moving, touching down. Each part of the step can be known. When it is known, it becomes alive. You do not have to describe these movements in words while you walk. Just feel them. The feeling is enough. The mind is often pulled into thoughts and images, but the body is always in the present moment. By sensing the body, you are stepping into the now. As you walk in this way, you may notice areas of tension. Perhaps the shoulders are raised, the hands are clenched, the neck is stiff. There is no need to fight these tensions. You can simply acknowledge them. My shoulders are tight, my jaw is stiff. As you breathe out and take a step, you may invite these parts of the body to soften just a little. You might imagine that with each out-breath, the body becomes a little heavier, a little more settled, like sand, gently settling at the bottom of clear water. The more the body settles, the more stable your steps become. You are not being pulled forward by habit anymore. You are placing each step with intention and care. In this way, walking changes from a mechanical action into a living meditation. Your foot is like a hand that touches the earth with respect. The ground is not just a surface to move across, it is a living support. With each step, you can feel this connection. You walk on the earth, and the earth receives you. This awareness can bring a feeling of safety. Even if your mind is worried or your heart is heavy, the ground beneath your feet is stable. It does not judge you. It simply holds you. You can lean into this support. As your foot presses down, you can release some of the weight you carry inside. You might silently say, "I release," or simply feel that the earth is big enough to hold your sorrow and your fear. The body is not an enemy. It is not something to control or conquer. When you walk slowly and feel each movement, you begin to see that the body is a faithful companion. It sends signals when it is tired, when it is stressed, when it is at ease. By listening, you show love. By ignoring, you create more distance and confusion. As you learn to walk in this way, you are not only training the body, you are training the mind to stay close to reality. Instead of chasing thoughts, the mind rests in the direct contact with life, the feeling of the feet on the ground, the movement of the legs, the rhythm of the breath. In this closeness, a natural peace can appear. If at any time during your practice you feel restless or bored, you can notice that too. Restlessness is also a guest in the house of awareness. You might tell it, "I see you, my restlessness, you are here." Without pushing it away, you take another slow step, feeling the foot touch the earth, feeling the breath come and go. In this simple way, step by step, you come home to your body. You come home to yourself. You may be surprised to find that this home has always been waiting for you, quiet and patient, just beneath the noise of your thoughts. As you become more intimate with your steps and your body, you may begin to sense something very gentle rising in you, a quiet joy, a lightness, a feeling of, "I am truly here." It may be very small at first, like a tiny flame. Your practice is to protect this flame, to feed it with each slow breath, each careful step. One step like this contains a great power. It might seem small from the outside. The distance you travel may be just a few meters, a few steps across a room. But inside, this single step can be a turning point. In this step, you are not pulled back into the past or pushed into the future. You are not running away from yourself. You are here with what is. Peace is not something you have to build from nothing. It is not a reward waiting far away at the end of many tasks. Peace is a natural quality of the mind when it is present and free from distraction. When you bring your full awareness to a step, to a breath, you give peace a chance to show itself. You may have believed that to find peace you must solve all your problems, change all your conditions, or become a different kind of person. In this practice, you discover another way. You see that a small moment of presence can already open a gap in the clouds of worry. Even if the problems are still there in the background, for this one step, you are not trapped by them. You can try this very gently. As you imagine taking a step, you might say in your heart, "In this step, I am free." You do not have to be free forever. Just this one step, free from pressure, free from proving, free from needing to be anywhere else, free to feel your foot touching the ground and your breath moving in and out. You might notice that when you really touch this freedom, there is a sense of ease. The face softens, the breath deepens, the thoughts become less loud. The body feels a little more open. It is as if a window has been opened in a stuffy room and fresh air is coming in. The world outside may not appear to change. The sounds, the people, the tasks may remain the same, but the way you meet them becomes different. Instead of meeting them from a place of tension and hurry, you meet them from within this one peaceful step. You can see this moment as a seed. Each time you take such a step, you are watering the seed of peace in your consciousness. At first, the plant may be small and fragile, but with each mindful step, each mindful breath, it grows stronger. Over time, peace becomes less of a passing experience and more of a stable presence. This does not mean you will never feel upset, angry, or afraid again, but it means that even in those states, you will know there is another way of being. You will know how to return to your breath, your step, your body, and from there to a quieter, more spacious state of mind. You might like to experiment with this in a very simple way. The next time you walk from one room to another, see if you can give your full attention to just 3 steps, not a whole journey, not a long practice, just 3 steps. For those 3 steps, you breathe and walk in awareness as if those were the most important steps you have ever taken. You may find that the quality of your mind shifts even a little. After those 3 steps, you might feel a bit more grounded, more awake. If you wish, you can do 3 more steps like that later. Slowly, without pressure, this way of stepping can spread through your day. Sometimes, when there is a lot of pain inside, it may be hard to feel any peace at all. In those moments, you might feel that peaceful walking is not possible. The heart is heavy, the mind is full, the body is tense. If this is the case for you, know that this is also a part of the path. Suffering is not a mistake. It is part of being human. There is a simple truth that you can hold close. Without mud, there is no lotus. The lotus flower, with its beauty and purity, grows only in the dark, thick mud. It does not grow on marble or in a clean glass of water. In the same way, your understanding, compassion, and wisdom often grow out of your difficulties, not away from them. When you feel sadness, fear, anger, or confusion, you can see these feelings as the mud in your life. You do not need to be ashamed of them. You do not need to push them away. Instead, you can touch them with the same gentle awareness you bring to your steps. As you walk, you might say in your heart, breathing in, I know there is suffering in me. Breathing out, I hold my suffering with tenderness. You are not trying to make the suffering disappear right away. You are simply acknowledging it, like a parent acknowledging the tears of a child. When you walk with your suffering in this way, you are not running away from it, and you are not being swallowed by it. You are holding it in the space of awareness. Awareness is like the sky. Thoughts and feelings are like clouds. Some clouds are light, some are dark and heavy, but all of them move through the sky. The sky is never damaged by the clouds. You can imagine that with each slow step, you are giving your pain a bit more space. It is no longer trapped inside a small, tight area. It can breathe, it can be seen. When pain is seen clearly and held with care, it begins to change. It may soften. It may reveal its roots. It may teach you something about yourself and about life. Perhaps you are carrying an old wound, a memory, a loss, or a disappointment. As you walk, you may feel its weight. Instead of trying to forget it or distract yourself, you can walk for that wounded part of you. You can say, this step is for the part of me that is hurting. I am here for you. You may notice that when you offer this kindness to yourself, something shifts. The pain may still be there, but it is no longer alone. There is now a warm presence walking beside it. That warm presence is your own mindful awareness. It is your capacity to care for yourself. Sometimes your suffering comes from the present moment, a difficult situation, a conflict, a sense of being overwhelmed. Even then, slow walking can help. By walking slowly, you give yourself a little distance from the storm of thoughts. You are still in the situation, but you are not completely identified with it. You have a place to stand that is a little more stable. You might say, breathing in, I feel my anxiety. Breathing out, I hold my anxiety with compassion. Or, breathing in, I am with my anger. Breathing out, I do not push my anger away. In this way, you respect your feelings. You do not harm them or act them out blindly. You walk with them step by step. Over time, you may begin to see that your suffering has given you gifts. It may have made you more understanding of others, more humble, more gentle. It may have opened your heart in ways that comfort and ease could not. This does not mean you must seek suffering or that pain is good in itself. It means that when pain is here, it does not have to be wasted. It can nourish the lotus of understanding. When you remember no mud, no lotus, you can look at your own life with softer eyes. You may see that through your struggles you have grown in ways you did not notice. You may feel gratitude for the strengths and insights you have gained, even if you would not have chosen the difficulties that led to them. Walking slowly with this awareness, each step becomes an act of deep trust. You trust that your life, with all its joys and sorrows, is capable of flowering. You trust that even now, as you take a slow step, the seeds of understanding and compassion are being watered in you. The important thing is not to force this insight. If you do not yet see the lotus in your mud, that is okay. You do not need to pretend. You only need to keep walking gently, breathing gently, holding your experience with kindness. Like a gardener who waters the soil without seeing the flower yet, you continue your practice with patience. In moments when the pain feels very strong, your steps may need to become even slower, even smaller. You may imagine that you are walking with a friend who is very fragile, very tired. You do not rush this friend. You stay close. You walk at a pace that feels safe and manageable. You offer your presence as a gift. In truth, you are that friend. You are walking with yourself, and with each caring step, the ground of your being becomes a little more stable, a little more loving. From this ground, in time, many beautiful flowers can grow. When you walk slowly, with your breath and your steps gently touching the ground, something inside you begins to open. You may start to notice that your walking is not only for you. Each step is connected to something larger than yourself. The earth beneath you has been here long before you were born, and it will remain long after your body is gone. Every step you take is shared with the world. You might imagine, as you place your foot on the earth, that you are touching the whole planet. The ground supports every human being, every tree, every creature. It holds mountains, rivers, and oceans. It holds both joy and suffering. When your foot touches the ground, you touch all of this. You become aware that you are part of something vast and alive. This is the essence of interbeing. You are not separate. You are made of the earth, the rain, the sunshine, the air. Without the clouds, there is no rain. Without the rain, there is no food. Without food, there is no life in your body. In this way, everything is connected. When you walk with all these elements inside you and around you. You might pause and ask yourself gently, who am I walking for right now? You might walk for yourself, for your own healing, for your own peace. But you can also walk for others, for those who cannot walk because they are ill or tired, for those who are overwhelmed and do not know how to find peace, for those who suffer around the world, people you will never meet, yet whose lives are connected to your own. As you take a step, you may like to say, this step is for all beings, or with this step, I offer peace. These silent words are not a performance. They are an expression of your sincere wish to bring more love and calmness into the world. Even if no one sees you practicing, your steps carry this energy. Walking slowly on the earth can be a profound act of gratitude. You can feel the firmness beneath your feet, the coolness or warmth of the ground, the texture of the surface. Each step is like a gentle bow. Thank you, earth, for carrying me. When gratitude is present, the heart naturally becomes lighter. You no longer take the ground beneath you for granted. You see it as a gift. Sometimes when you walk, you may see trees, plants, or even just the open sky. These are not separate from you. The tree is made of the same elements you are made of. The air that moves through the leaves is the same air that enters your lungs. The sunlight that nourishes the grass also shines on your skin. When you walk slowly, you may realize that the earth, the sky, and your own body are breathing together. With this awareness, your steps become a conversation with the world. Each step says, I see you, I am here with you. You do not need to change anything, you only need to be present. In this presence, you may discover a deep sense of belonging. You are not walking alone. You are walking with the whole cosmos inside each step. And when your heart feels heavy with the suffering of the world, mindful walking can be a way of offering compassion. You walk not to escape the suffering, but to hold it with care. You walk for those who have no peace,